All right, let's cut right through all the AI hype. Today, we're talking about one thing and one thing only: how you can take the latest AI tools and turn them into actual money in your pocket. Seriously, let's dive in. Okay, picture this. It's late, like 11:30 at night, your phone lights up. It's a message from a client. And it says, hey, today's invoice is paid. It was 75,000 rupees. From next month, I want you to send an invoice for 150,000 rupees. I mean, just like that. Poof, your income just doubled.
So the big question is, how? How does that even happen? And look, this isn't some made-up story. This is what actually happened to a freelancer named Ravi. And today, we're going to break down exactly how he pulled it off.
The secret here wasn't about Ravi working longer hours or pulling all-nighters. Nope. It was about a brand new tool that his clients had no idea even existed. We're talking about Anthropic's new model, Claude Opus 4.7. And the best part? His clients didn't care about the tool. All they saw were the incredible results delivered twice as fast. And let's be super clear here. This isn't just some minor update. We're not talking about a small tweak. This thing is reportedly blowing past the benchmarks set by the big guys, GPT and Gemini. This is a total game changer, a fundamental shift in how work gets done.
So to really get what's happening, you kind of have to change how you think about AI. It's not just another app or another tool on your computer. We've got to start looking at it as something more.
Think about it. For the longest time, we've treated AI like, a junior intern or a data entry operator, right? You give it a task, but then you have to double-check everything it does. You have to babysit it. The new way? Treat it like a senior colleague, someone you can trust. You hand off a task, and it doesn't just do the work. It actually checks its own work and gives you a finished product. No hand-holding required. And that's the absolute key takeaway here. Claude 4.7 might just be the first generative AI model that you truly don't have to babysit. It doesn't just spit out an answer. It actually checks itself for mistakes, looks for things that don't add up, and it does all of that before it ever shows you the final result. That's huge. Still skeptical? I get it. But check out this story. There was a CA firm, right, drowning in hundreds of invoices every month. They fed Claude a super blurry 3-page scan of an invoice. And get this, not only did it pull out all the data perfectly, but it added its own little note. It said, hey, the HSN tax code here looks inconsistent. You might want to verify that. This was a mistake that even a professional chartered accountant had missed. Now that is a senior colleague. Okay, so this thing is clearly powerful, but how do you actually turn that power into cash? Let's get practical. I'm going to walk you through 5 real products you could literally start selling today.
So with this new capability, you've suddenly got a whole new menu of services to offer. We're going to cover 5 big ones: an AI Ops Manager, something called Document Intelligence, MVP development, an AI agency, and even a proposal studio. Let's start with the first one.
Okay, product number 1, the AI Operations Manager. The pitch is super simple. You know how clients give you these really vague ideas, maybe just rambling on a phone call? Well, you can build a system that takes that messy transcript and automatically turns it into a polished, professional, client-ready proposal. The AI does all the heavy lifting. It drafts it, it reviews it, it even flags things it's unsure about. All you have to do is give it the final okay.
And yeah, you can totally sell this as a monthly service. If a client balks at the price, the comeback is easy. A full-time human ops manager would cost you just as much, probably more when you add in benefits. And are they going to work 24/7 with this kind of accuracy? I don't think so.
All right, next up, Document Intelligence. This is a godsend for any business that is just drowning in paperwork. Think law firms, CA firms, you name it. Claude 4.7 can rip through scanned documents, even really bad blurry copies, with a resolution that's like 3 times better than what we had before. You want to see what it can do? Just look at this. On one single invoice for a company, the AI found a spelling mistake. It noticed the wrong type of GST was applied. It caught calculation errors, and then it actually recommended asking for a new invoice before paying. This is the kind of stuff that would take a senior-level human hours to find. And for something like this, you can charge a nice one-time setup fee, because you're not just doing a task for them, you're building them a custom system, an engine for analyzing documents that they're going to use for years to come. Product number 3. This one is for all of you out there who've had an amazing app idea but thought, ugh, I can't code. Well, now you can offer AI-powered MVP development. That's a fancy way of saying you can build a working first version of an app without writing a single line of code or hiring an expensive developer.
And the process is just ridiculously simple. You just tell it what you want in plain English. Something like, hey, build me a dashboard for tracking client invoices. The AI just does it. It writes the code, it tests the code, it finds its own bugs and fixes them, and then it hands you a working app. It even, and this is wild, created demo login details so you could test the login screen without even being asked.
So what are you doing here? You're basically the bridge between your client's great idea and an actual working product. And for that, you can charge some serious project-based fees. We're talking about turning a simple sentence into a huge payday.
Okay, number 4 is where we really scale things up. It's the AI agency in a box. The idea here is you use Claude as the boss, the project manager, who coordinates a whole team of other specialized AIs. So you might have one AI hunting for new clients, another one writing sales emails, and a third one doing all the follow-ups. You're essentially selling a fully automated sales machine that can crunch 3 hours of work down into like 8 minutes.
And last but not least, product number 5, the AI Proposal Studio. This one's really cool because it uses Claude's design skills, which are surprisingly good. You can literally just feed it a bunch of messy notes about a startup, and it will spit out a clean, professional pitch deck that's ready to show to investors.
Again, you're not selling software here. You're selling a high-stakes service. The pitch is just killer. Give me your brain dump, your raw idea, and I'll hand you back an investor-ready deck in 48 hours. I mean, for a startup that's trying to raise millions, that kind of speed and quality is an absolute no-brainer.
So let's zoom out and put this all together. What we've just gone through, it isn't just a list of cool AI features. No, it's a map to a huge business opportunity. And that opportunity lives inside something I call the knowledge gap. So just to quickly recap, you're walking away from this with a full product list ready to roll. The AI Ops Manager, Document Intelligence, MVP Development, the Proposal Studio, and the whole AI agency. These aren't just someday ideas. These are real services you can start selling like right now.
And this brings us back to Ravi, the guy from the beginning. This is the most important part of the whole thing. He didn't get that massive pay bump because he's some kind of wizard. He got it because he knew about a powerful tool that his client didn't. That's it. That gap between what this technology can actually do and what most people think it can do, that right there is your secret weapon.
Look, right now, most people are just passively watching tutorials or scrolling through short videos about AI. But you just got a practical, step-by-step roadmap to actually making money with it. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build? While everyone else is just watching, what are you going to do? Don't just learn about it, go out and use it. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about a tool that might just change the way you think about work itself, Claude Cowork. And I want you to think of it less like an app and more like your very first AI employee.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This idea right here is really the core of what we're talking about today. The goal isn't just to use an AI tool anymore. It's to hire one, train it, and actually put it to work in a meaningful way.
So how do we actually do that? Well, here's the game plan. We'll look at what this new AI employee is, how to onboard it, connect it to your world, teach it special skills, and finally, how to automate your business.
All right, let's jump right in. First things first, we got to understand what Claude Cowork even is and where it fits into the whole AI landscape.
So you're probably familiar with Claude Chat, right? It's great for having a conversation, asking questions, brainstorming ideas. But Cowork, that's a whole different beast. It's not for asking, it's for doing. It's all about taking action. And this is the key thing to get. Cowork was built from the ground up to make really powerful automations easy for anyone. You don't have to be a coder, you don't need to be a tech genius, you just need to have a task you want to get done.
Okay, so now that we know what it is, let's talk about getting it started. Just like with any new hire, you can't just throw them in the deep end, right? You've got to do a proper onboarding. You got to set some ground rules.
And the good news is the setup is super simple. It really just boils down to these 3 steps. Get the app, tell it how you like to communicate, and create a safe space for it to work.
Now, let's talk about this sandbox thing for a second, because it's really important. Think of it like giving your new AI employee its own office. It can do whatever it needs to do inside that office, create files, organize things, you name it. But it absolutely cannot step outside and start messing with anything else on your computer. It's a simple, powerful way to keep your data safe.
And this is where it starts to feel kind of magical. You actually get to teach it a personality. You tell it how you want it to talk to you. Do you want it to be direct and to the point, a little more casual? You get to decide.
This makes it feel so much less like a robot and more like a real coworker who just gets you. All right, so your new AI employee is onboarded, it's got a safe place to work, and it knows how to talk to you. What's next? Well, now it needs access to the tools to actually do its job, and that's where something called connectors come into play.
Connectors are, well, they're exactly what they sound like. They let you connect Cowork to all the other apps you use every day. Google Drive, Notion, Slack, you name it. This is how you allow your AI to see, read, and actually work within your digital ecosystem.
And this is where you really start to feel the power. Think about a task like this. Normally, you'd have to listen to meeting recordings, find the action items, then go over to Notion and type them all in. It could take an hour. Now, you just ask. One sentence, and it's done.
Okay, so we've got the basics down. Your AI can follow simple commands, but now we get into the advanced training. This is how you transform your AI from a general assistant into a real specialist for your specific work.
First up are skills. The easiest way to think about a skill is like a recipe. You show the AI how to do one specific, repeatable task perfectly, just one time. And from then on, it knows that recipe by heart and can do it flawlessly forever. No more reinventing the wheel.
And then you can take it to the next level with a plugin. So if a skill is like a single recipe, a plugin is the entire cookbook. It's where you chain together a bunch of different skills to handle a whole complex project from start to finish all in one go. And all of this, the onboarding, the connections, the skills, it's all leading to this. This is the ultimate goal, right? Creating systems that run themselves so you can stop focusing on the tedious stuff and start focusing on what really matters.
And you can schedule pretty much anything you can think of. Just imagine waking up every morning to a custom brief that's already summarized your calendar and, most important, emails. Or what if your messy downloads folder just cleaned itself up every night? Or a monthly expense report just appeared, fully done, without you lifting a finger.
Now, there is one little thing you got to remember for this to work. Because Cowork runs locally on your computer, your machine does need to be on and running for those scheduled tasks to kick off. So it's not quite in the cloud yet. Just something to keep in mind.
So you see how it all stacks together, right? The connectors give it access, the skills give it the expertise, and the schedules give it autonomy. And that combination is what takes this from being a tool you have to tell what to do to a proactive employee that just does the work for you.
We've just walked through what's possible here, from automating one tiny task to putting your whole business on autopilot. So that really just leaves one last question for you to think about. If you had this AI employee right now, what is the absolute first thing you would delegate and never do yourself again?
You know, most of us have played around with a chatbot. Task a question, right? But what if you could take that to a whole new level? What if you had an AI that didn't just answer you, but actually did things for you? Well, today, we're going to explore exactly how to turn that simple AI chat into a powerhouse coworker. Let's dive in.
So let's start with this question. I want you to really think about it. Forget seeing this as just another piece of software. The big idea here is to frame it like you're hiring an employee, one that can handle tasks, manage workflows, and work right alongside you.
Okay, so this is the crucial part to get your head around. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. We're moving away from a conversational partner and towards an executive assistant. You know, one is for asking questions, but the other is for getting stuff done. And this right here really breaks it down for you. On one side, you've got Claude Chat. That's where you'd ask something like, what's the best country to live in? It's a fantastic conversational partner, for sure. But then you have Claude Cowork, where you give a direct command. Organize my downloads folder. It's all about action. It's all about automation.
Just like when a new employee starts, the first day is all about getting them set up and, really importantly, setting boundaries. We want to give our AI coworker the tools it needs to succeed, but we have to make sure our data stays completely safe and secure.
This setup is actually super simple. It's just 3 steps. First, you're going to download the desktop app. Second, and listen, this is probably the most important part for your security, you create what's called a sandbox folder. And finally, you add a little bit of core context about you and your work. So what in the world is this sandbox folder? Well, think of it like your digital safety net. It's like giving your AI its own private office. It can do whatever it needs to inside that office, but it is physically blocked from touching anything else on your computer. This gives you total peace of mind. And, just like you'd brief a new team member on their first day, you can just drop a simple text file right into that sandbox folder. Put in some key info, who you are, what your business is about, what your goals are, because the more context it has, the more accurate and helpful it's going to be for you. Okay, so your new AI coworker is all set up in its office. Now it's time to give it the keys to the tools it needs to actually do its job. And in the world of Claude Cowork, these keys are called connectors. And this, my friends, is where the real magic starts to happen. You can connect it to your Google Calendar, your Gmail, your Slack, Notion, all the places where your work actually lives. This is what allows it to see your digital world and start connecting all the dots for you. I mean, just look at this command. This is exactly why connectors are so incredibly powerful. You can ask it to whip up a morning brief by pulling appointments from your calendar and finding the urgent stuff in your email. It's not just using one tool, it's making your entire tech stack work together seamlessly.
All right, so once you got the hang of giving it simple commands, you can actually start teaching your coworker new tricks. And this is where you go from just doing one-off tasks to creating repeatable automations that are going to save you a ton of time.
Now, there are two main ways you can teach it. First, you've got a skill, which is basically a single automated task. An example would be create a branded infographic. But then you've got a plugin, and a plugin is a bigger, multi-step workflow. Think of a whole system that can take a video transcript, turn it into infographics, and then draft social media posts from it. It's a whole other level. The real value of a skill is so simple but so powerful. You do it once, and then you automate it forever. You teach the AI the exact steps to create that perfect infographic just one time, and then you never ever have to explain it again. You just say the word, and it gets done exactly to your specs.
And this brings us to the final level, the real end game. We've gone from commands to skills, and now we move to a fully automated system where you don't even have to ask. You can literally schedule your assistant to perform tasks automatically for you.
I mean, just picture a day like this. At 8 a.m., your morning brief just appears ready for you. At 4 p.m., all your meeting notes from the day are automatically summarized and saved right to Notion. And at 6 p.m., your messy downloads folder gets all cleaned up without you even lifting a finger. That's what a truly automated day can look like.
Now, there is one really important thing to keep in mind here. For these scheduled tasks to actually run, your computer needs to be on and the app needs to be running. It's not happening in the cloud somewhere. This is your personal coworker operating right there on your desktop.
So I'm going to leave you with this question. Just think about your work week for a second. Think about all those tedious, repetitive tasks that just drain your energy. What's the very first one you're going to hand over to your new AI coworker?